Hey guys, Viking E2 here, back to show off some more plunder that I've acquired here recently. Got a nice little stack of stuff to show off here, and haven't gotten to listen to everything. I know I say that a lot, but just had a lot going on. Don't have as much time to listen to stuff as I'd like, but I try to get to what I can. These first four all came from a Chicago-based label, Famine Records. They put out the Unnatural CD compilation here just a little while back, and saw they had some other cool looking things in there. Checked out some songs, thought they sounded good, so I decided to check them out. So we're going to start off with a band called Eroded with Darkness Awaits the Dead. Really cool logo there. But yeah, Eroded are a German death metal band that formed back in 2004, and this is a compilation, basically all their recorded material from the Lone demo that came out in 2005, the material they put out on 3 different splits, as well as 5 unreleased tracks, 2 of them from the studio, 3 of them live. Much like the other 3 releases here, this was released on Dark Blasphemy's Records, limited to 500 copies. Have listened to this one, definitely worth checking out. Next up, we have some Texas death metal here. This is Crucifix with Remains. And yeah, formed back in 1989. They are no longer together. This is the lone EP that they released back in 2014. They also have, I should say, a compilation from 2013, which basically has their first 3 demos in it. And they actually have a cover on this little 4-track EP of Kiss's War Machine, which is probably one of my all-time favorite songs. Next up, Maggoty Corpse with Requiem. And yeah, this is a Japanese death metal band that is no longer together. They formed back in 1991. And actually, the guitarist and vocalist of this band, Narutoshi Sakina, I believe is how you say it. Totally butchered that probably. Is actually in Butcher ABC currently. But again, another compilation of all their recorded material, which is basically 2 demos and some material off of a split release. Limited to 500 copies on Dark Blasphemies, as I said. Really solid stuff. This last one I have not been able to listen to. This is Embalmed with Pieces Remain and Boiling Humans. And yeah, this is a brutal death metal / grindcore band out of Dallas, Texas that formed back in 1991. Again, another compilation of their first 2 demos, remastered, limited to 500 copies. Really looking forward to checking this one out when I get the chance. All right, moving on. We have Jesus Wept with Apartheid Redux. And yeah, this is another death metal / hardcore band from Detroit, Michigan that formed in 2017. Basically, it's a compilation of their Crushing Apartheid EP as well as their 2019 single, Comfortably Numb. Really good stuff. Listened to it a couple different times. Then we have Night Rage with Demo 2000. And if you're not familiar with Night Rage, it is a melodic death metal band that formed back in 2000, obviously. It was formed by 2 guys, Gus G, formerly of Mystic Prophecy. He's also in Firewind. He was on Ozzy's Scream album. And Marios Elopoulos, who was formerly of Firewind. And yeah, these guys got together, recorded this demo, with just a drum machine and Gus G handling the harsh vocals on this. So it's really cool to check out this reissue. And I gotta say, this sounds pretty damn good. I do love me some Night Rage. Next up, we have Nadorus. And I believe this is just a self-titled demo. Yeah, it's actually a promo. 2020, the CD version put out on New Standard Elite. And this is a brutal death metal band from Czechia. That formed back in 2019, features Malika Sundara Murthy. God, I can never pronounce that name. Formerly of Abnormality. She's also in Castrator and a bunch of other bands on vocals. As well as current and former members of Epicardiectomy, Catalepsy, and Parasitic Extirpation. This was limited to 100 copies, and this is some pretty solid brutal death metal. If you've heard New Standard Elite releases, you pretty much know what to expect with this. This one I picked up without even hearing a single note, just because I knew it had it was done by a member of Mulder, and this is granulated with just demo 2020, and one-man death metal project from Aaron Pankey of Mulder. As I said, this is the second demo of this project overall. There was a 2-track digital promo that came out, I think either earlier this year or last year. But really looking forward to checking this one out, because, Mulder is kick-ass. Next up, Karl Ruin with The Damned Lie Rotting. Some really solid Florida death metal here. This is the second EP from this project, follow-up to the Immortal Domain EP from 2018. Limited to 500 copies on Redefining Darkness Records. And if you love some Florida death metal, check out Karl Ruin. Next up, we have a upgrade from a tape release that I actually did a review of. This is Exaggerate with Chasm of Rapturous Delirium. Death metal from the Mississippi, Alabama area became a thing in 2019. Debut EP on Rotted Life Records. I did a review of this. If you want to see my full thoughts on it, go check that out. And last but not least, Macabre with Carnival of Killers. Of course, the Macabre really needs no introduction. They're a death, grindcore, thrash metal style band from Illinois that formed back in 1985, all serial killer based. I did a review of the Lake of Fire single off of this. So, 6 full length from this band. The first one says 2011's Grim Scary Tales, and only gotten to listen to it a couple times, but Macabre is back, and if you've heard Macabre before, you know what to expect, and if you haven't heard Macabre, you definitely need to go check these guys out. So that is going to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing, and until next time, stay brutal.